Hi, students. Today we're going to do some work together. So what I'm going to need you to do is get some supplies. You will need paper, pencil or pen, a crayon or something to color or shade with. So pause the video, please, and get your supplies. Then when you're all set to go, we'll work on some problems together. Okay, so now that you're ready, we're going to work on a problem here. I'm going to try to see if I can get it in closer there for you so that you can go ahead and read it. So as I do, I have my kids read the problem through a number of times so that they are really familiar with what's going on. Then I'll have them turn and talk with a partner. So if there's somebody at home that you can kind of cover up this problem and tell what's going on in the problem. Once that was done, I would ask somebody to share what they thought in their own words. So a student might say, oh, well, there was this pan of brownies. I think there's 7/8 of the pan of brownies left or sitting at the table. And some friends came over and they ate 4/8 of the brownie. So we're trying to find out how much of the brownie is left. Okay. So after we would discuss that, I would ask kids to go ahead and draw a representation. So please go ahead and pause the video and draw a representation of this situation. Okay, now that you have your representation, I would love to have you come up and share your representation, but we're not able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and draw. And I use a tape diagram. If you want to use a rectangle that seems more like a pan of brownies to you, that's fine too. So halves, fourths, eighths. All right. I'm going to label each unit fraction so it's very clear that this whole pan of brownies was 8/8 of the brownies. But in this story problem, we're starting with 7/8 of the brownie. So for 7/8 of the brownie, I'm going to go ahead and shade that in. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, and 7/8. Then we need to go ahead, and some friends came over and they ate some of the brownies. So they ate 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8 of the pan of brownie left. So how much is left? Let's go ahead and write an equation that matches this representation. So we started with 7/8 of the brownies, and friends came over and they ate, they took away, they removed 4/8 of the brownies, and now we have 3/8 left over. What is the very important last step in this? It is answering the story question. What fraction of the pan of brownies is left? We would say there is 3/8 of the pan of brownies left. All right. Good job. So take your time, write all that down, pause the video, and then we'll go on to the next problem. All right, here is our next problem. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try to read through that problem a number of times until you're really familiar with what is going on in this story. Pause the video as often as you need to go ahead and really make sense of what's going on in this situation. So I would call on somebody after the turning and talking and have them say in their own words what's going on in the story problem. One of my students might say, there was a person, I'm not really sure of the name, and this person lived 6/10 of a mile away from the school. Oh, it says her school, must be a girl. Okay. And she's already done some walking to school. She's walked 4/10 of the miles to school so far, but she still has some left to go. So we're trying to figure out how much is left. So pause the video, make sense of the problem, and then draw a representation. All right. So what I did was I showed this with a tape diagram. It's really kind of strange to me because I'm thinking, this doesn't really represent what she's doing, but I know I can use a tape diagram. It is a subtraction situation because we are finding a missing part, okay, finding the missing part of the whole. So I did shade in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tenths. So she's already walked 4 tenths of a mile. I'm going to take that away. 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths. And how many tenths does she have left? Well, let me share with you a different representation that I like to use when I'm working on distance problems because it just makes more sense to me. So I'm going to draw a number line. Okay, and I'm going to kind of use the tape diagram above to show my partitions. All right, now I need to label this. So we're starting at 0. This is 1 tenth of a mile, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths, 10 tenths, or 1 whole. Okay, so this match, for me, this matches a story problem so much better. So Marisol lives here. Here's her house, and that's Marisol. And we know that she lives 6 tenths of a mile away from school. So here's her school. So what I'm going to show is I'm going to show Marisol actually walking. So she's walked 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths. So that's 4 tenths of a mile. How much does she have left to walk? She has 1 tenth, 2 tenths left to walk. So as we're writing a representation, so I'm going to write a representation, an equation. Up here what I did is I had 6 tenths. I took away 4 tenths, and that left me with 2 tenths. That really matches what we did there. This is a little bit different. What we did here was we wanted to know we started with 4 tenths. And yes, you can use addition as a subtraction strategy if you add up. What did we add on to equal 6 tenths? And as we can see, we added 1 tenth, 2 tenths. We added 2 tenths on. So this is a good equation that matches the representation too for the number line. We're not finished because we need to answer the story question. How much further does Marisol have to walk to school? I'm going to write, she has 2 tenths of a mile left to walk to school. All right. So hopefully this has been helpful and you have some ideas and some representations to go ahead and complete some of your work. I'm not sure, maybe your teacher wants to have you share something in Seesaw, and these problems we did together maybe is something that you want to share. All right. Have a great day, everybody.